chosen one. Listen carefully. You can feel it even now, something in the air. An unseen stirring that whispers your name. Heaven has pressed pause on everything around you because a message is arriving straight from the throne room. You have sensed this for weeks, maybe months, that pull in your chest that tells you the shift is close. You are not imagining it. You are standing at the edge of a divine turning point. And what's coming will silence every doubter that ever questioned your calling. The world may not see it yet, but heaven already has your story recorded. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on schedule, aligned with the rhythm of divine timing. Everything that felt delayed was divine preparation. Every door that shut was protection. Every silence from heaven was strategy. Because before the unveiling, God always brings a hush, a whisper before the storm. There is a spiritual hush right now, and it's not empty silence, it's sacred suspense. The same kind that came before creation when the Spirit hovered over the deep. The same kind that filled the upper room before the wind of Pentecost. Heaven is holding its breath because what is about to break forth from your life will confirm that you were chosen all along. You may have been underestimated, but the underestimated ones are the ones God delights in raising up. Listen, chosen one, what's coming isn't man-made. It's not random luck. It's divine orchestration. People who walked away will watch from afar as God rewrites your reputation. Those who mocked your dreams will tremble when they see the doors He opens next. You've been hidden, not forgotten. You've been in training, not in trouble. And when heaven says, now, nothing and no one will stop what's set in motion. Even your pain has been prophetic. Every tear that fell in private became a seed planted in sacred soil. God has been collecting them, watering them with His mercy. And now, the season of harvest is near. You've carried heaviness because you carry holy purpose. The spiritual attacks were never proof of weakness, they were proof of value. Hell doesn't attack the ordinary. It attacks the anointed. So, lift your head. Heaven is aligning circumstances even as you read this. The message is not coincidence. This is divine interception. The same Spirit that parted seas and broke chains is whispering through these words, prepare your heart. Because the very thing you prayed for in tears will soon arrive in power. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. You have tried to dim your brilliance so others could be comfortable. You've apologized for being too intense, too passionate, too different. But the time for apology is over. This is your hour to shine without hesitation. Heaven is not asking you to fit in, it's commanding you to stand out. Because when you stand in your divine identity, every doubt begins to tremble. There is no need to argue with those who doubted you. Your results will speak for you. Your transformation will become your testimony. You don't have to prove you're chosen. Your obedience will do that for you. Just keep walking in faith. Keep doing what God placed in your hands. And watch as He turns your private obedience into public recognition. And when it happens, don't shrink back. Don't downplay the miracle. Let your light blaze like fire on a hill. Because your breakthrough isn't just about you, it's a signal to every other weary soul that God still raises the overlooked, still defends the faithful, still rewards those who refuse to quit. This is your wake-up call. Chosen one, the shift you've been waiting for isn't coming. Someday it has already begun. You can feel it. Heaven can feel it. The angels assigned to your destiny are taking their positions. The silence around you is about to break into sound victory, sound, promises sound, fulfillment sound. Now take a breath and declare it aloud. My time has come. Let every doubt fade in the light of that truth. Because soon, even the ones who whispered against you will have no choice but to witness your elevation. If these words resonate in your spirit, if something inside you says, "This is for me," then don't scroll away. Like this message, share it so someone else can rise with you. And comment below. 777, your prophetic number of divine completion. And make sure you subscribe to stay connected to what heaven is doing next. Because this is only the beginning of your unveiling. You were never ordinary. Chosen one, from your very first breath. Something about you resisted the patterns of the world. You have walked paths others feared to tread, felt emotions others could not comprehend, and carried burdens heavier than most could bear. You were born under divine instruction, marked for a mission that existed before time itself. Every time you tried to fit in, heaven reminded you that you were designed to stand out. You carry a frequency not of this world, a spiritual vibration that draws heaven's attention and stirs hell's irritation. There is something in your spirit that refuses to settle for mediocrity. That restlessness inside you is not rebellion, it's revelation. You can't remain where others are comfortable because destiny keeps calling your name. You are wired for greatness, for movement, for divine purpose. While others may chase recognition, you chase alignment. You've always known that applause from men could never compare to the approval of God. People have looked at you and seen confusion. Heaven looks at you and sees construction. You are not broken, you are being built. The foundation of your life has been laid in trial so that it can carry the weight of glory. Every hardship was a hammer, every loss a chisel, every tear a drop of oil that anointed your becoming. Even your difference was divine design. God hid peculiar strength in your soul so that when the time came, your uniqueness would not just be noticed, it would be needed. You've endured the pain of being misunderstood because your spirit speaks a language this world rarely understands. Yet those who once mocked your intensity will soon seek your insight. The same voice they ignored will become the voice they consult. You have often wondered why your path seemed longer, your process slower. It's because God wasn't just preparing a blessing for you, He was preparing you for the blessing. Quick rises often lead to fragile foundations, but yours has been forged in fire. That's why you will last. The shaking that destroyed others will only establish you deeper. Remember this. Chosen one. Being chosen doesn't always look glorious at first. Sometimes it looks like rejection. Sometimes it feels like loneliness. But the same fire that refines gold also purifies your faith. And though others may have overlooked you, heaven never did. You've been seen, known, and preserved for such a time as this. You were never meant to find comfort in crowds, for your path was carved in covenant, not convenience. Every lonely night was a classroom where heaven whispered identity. Every silence was sacred, training for the roar that's coming. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned for unveiling. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 139, verse 14. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. You are not a mistake. You are the masterpiece of divine imagination. Your quirks, your strength, but your compassion, all of it was intentionally woven into your being. The very things others criticized are often the exact features heaven intends to use. Your empathy is a gift. Your sensitivity to the Spirit is an instrument. Your endurance, your silence, your refusal to quit, they are holy weapons, forged in seasons of invisibility. There were times you questioned your worth because of how people treated you. But the rejection of man can never revoke the election of God. When others shut doors, it's often heaven redirecting your path toward greater purpose. God doesn't waste your wilderness. Every dry place you walked through became the ground where revelation took root. Chosen one. The enemy has studied you for years, trying to understand what makes you unstoppable. He's thrown distractions, disappointments, even doubts your way, but still, you rise. Still, you believe. Still, you hear heaven's whisper calling you forward. That resilience isn't human, it's divine. It's the Spirit of God within you, proving that your story is authored by eternity. So don't curse your difference, cherish it. The same God who set the stars in their places also set you in this generation on purpose. You were never meant to blend into the crowd, you were meant to illuminate it. When you walk into a room, atmospheres shift because you carry heaven's presence. The enemy recognizes your anointing, even when you don't. You are not just surviving, you are becoming. You are not merely existing, you are emerging. The next chapter of your life will reveal what all the previous pain was preparing. The world is about to see what heaven already knows. You were never ordinary. The weight of misunderstanding, every chosen one knows it too well. You have carried the ache of being seen yet unseen, surrounded yet solitary. People watched your storms but never stayed for your prayers. They saw your tears but never understood their origin. What they called too emotional was actually prophetic sensitivity. What they labeled inconsistent was divine interruption. You have been walking with a weight invisible to the world, but precious in heaven's eyes. You must understand every great calling carries misunderstanding as its proof. Joseph's dreams were mocked before they were manifested. David was accused before he was crowned. Jesus himself was rejected before resurrection. The pattern is ancient. Before elevation comes isolation. Before revelation comes ridicule. So if you've been misunderstood, you are in good company. Heaven entrusts the hardest assignments to those willing to be misjudged. There were days you asked, "Why me?" You thought your heart was too fragile to bear another disappointment. Yet God saw something in you, a strength forged in compassion, a purity tested by pain. You were never weak, you were weighted. The pressure that almost crushed you was actually shaping your capacity to carry glory. The misunderstanding around you has been a veil protecting what's sacred inside you. Every time someone misread your motives, heaven took note. Every time you chose silence instead of revenge, the kingdom recorded your restraint as righteousness. You've been collecting spiritual credibility in the unseen. That's why God is about to trust you with visible influence. The ones who doubted you will soon have to confront the evidence of favor, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, chosen one. That word was not written for history, it was written for you. Every false word spoken against you has an expiration date. Every whisper meant to destroy your reputation will serve as confirmation when the promise manifests. The same voices that spread gossip will have to speak your name with reverence. Because when God vindicates, He doesn't do it quietly, He does it publicly. You've been through seasons where your silence was mistaken for weakness, but silence is often heaven's strongest language. God does not argue with mockers, He answers them with miracles. So, remain still when you are misread. Stay kind when you are misjudged. The same patience that preserved you will position you for power. Do not resent the misunderstanding, it's evidence of separation. God isolates the anointed before He elevates them. There's a reason you couldn't explain yourself enough to be understood. Divine mysteries cannot be translated into human logic. The Spirit hides certain truths until the appointed time. What others couldn't see in you was simply what wasn't yet meant to be revealed. And when your unveiling comes, and it will, the contrast will speak for itself. Those who mocked your faith will see your fruit. Those who called you delusional will watch doors open that no human could open. Your integrity will echo louder than their insults. Your peace will be your proof. So breathe. You are not being punished. You are being purified. You are not losing people. You are being filtered. The wrong voices are leaving because they cannot follow you into the next season. The misunderstanding around you is heaven's announcement that a revelation is near. And when the moment of manifestation arrives, remember this truth. Vindication is never about ego, it's about evidence. God wants the world to see what obedience looks like. You've been faithful in the shadows. Now the light will find you. Now, chosen one. As an act of agreement, type these words in the comments. I rise above. This isn't just a phrase, it's a declaration. It means you refuse to carry the weight of others' opinions any longer. It means you choose peace over explanation, destiny over defense. It means you understand that your worth is not up for debate. As you write it, something in the spirit shifts. Heaven records your surrender, and strength begins to rise in your soul. Let every accusation fall silent. Let every label lose its hold. You are who God says. You are nothing more, nothing less. The misunderstanding was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to distinguish you. You are walking out of the shadows of misjudgment and into the light of vindication. The time of confusion is ending. The time of clarity has begun. Keep walking. Chosen one. For soon, the very people who doubted you will witness what only faith could foresee. Hidden seasons. Holy refining. This is where destiny is shaped. Not on platforms, but in the quiet chambers of obscurity. Chosen one. You have walked through stretches of silence so deep, it made you question whether heaven had forgotten your name. Yet the truth is the opposite. The silence was sacred. You were never abandoned. You were being refined. God hides those He intends to honor. He shelters His chosen ones in mystery, so that when the unveiling comes, they are strong enough to carry the weight of glory. What you call delay was actually divine development. While others seemed to move ahead, heaven was building you layer by layer, foundation by foundation. It takes longer to construct something meant to last forever. There is a beauty in the hidden season that few understand. When no one is applauding you, when your prayers echo back unanswered, when your gifts seem buried beneath routine, this is when your roots grow deep. Trees that stand against great winds must have roots that reach unseen depths. You have been growing beneath the surface, stretching into the soil of discipline, trust, and unwavering faith. Sometimes, the greatest miracles are the ones no one sees. The miracle of perseverance when quitting would be easier. The miracle of hope when everything appears lost. The miracle of choosing worship when your soul feels weary. Heaven treasures these quiet victories more than any public display. God's refining fire doesn't come to destroy, it comes to define. The isolation you've endured was never punishment, it was purification. He was cleansing your motives, stripping away pride, dismantling false dependencies, and teaching you to rely on His voice alone. The people who left were never meant to stay for this phase. They could not handle the weight of what God was doing in private. You were set apart, not set aside. You see, destiny demands refinement. Before gold adorns a crown, it must endure the furnace. Before a prophet speaks, they must first learn silence. Before a leader rises, they must first bow in hidden surrender. You were not forgotten, you were being prepared. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 2. Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the wilderness these 40 years, to humble and test you in order to know what was in your heart, whether or not you would keep His commands. And the wilderness was your training ground. It exposed not your weakness, but your willingness. It showed heaven that you could be trusted with silence as well as sound. Many crave revelation, but few can bear refinement. You, chosen one, have passed tests others never recognized were happening. You've endured nights that felt endless and seasons that made no sense. But you never walked away. That is why you are still standing. There is a sacred rhythm in hiddenness, a slow and steady forming of character. It's where you learn the patience that platforms require. It's where you learn that not every door deserves your knock, and not every opportunity is divine. You learn to discern rather than chase, to listen rather than perform. These are lessons that can only be taught in secret, and though you may not realize it, heaven has been watching every moment, every whispered prayer, every tear that fell. When no one saw, the same God who kept Moses in the desert, who trained David among sheep, who prepared Esther in silence, has been doing the same with you. There is no wasted waiting. Every unseen hour has purpose. Soon, those who once overlooked you will wonder where you found your strength. They won't understand that the fire they thought would consume you became your consecration. They will see the calm authority in your eyes and know that you have walked through something sacred. You will not need to prove you've changed. The weight of your presence will testify. The refining doesn't make you flawless, it makes you faithful. It doesn't remove your humanity, it redeems it. The furnace has not burned you, it has branded you with divine resilience. The heat you felt was heaven's way of sealing your calling. Chosen one. If you still feel hidden, take heart. The silence is not over yet, because the masterpiece is not complete. But when the moment comes, and it will, you will emerge with a purity of purpose and a strength of spirit that no counterfeit can mimic. Every test will make sense. Every tear will be justified. Every unanswered prayer will reveal its purpose. Your hidden season is not wasted time, it's holy time. God is shaping the version of you that can hold the weight of what's next. Stay still, to stay faithful, and let the refining continue, because the unveiling that follows will be undeniable. When heaven chooses public exposure, this is the moment when everything hidden begins to speak. Chosen one. The curtain that once concealed you is being drawn back. The very place where you once wept will soon become the stage where your faith is displayed. For years, you have carried promises no one else believed in. But when heaven decides to reveal, there is no power strong enough to resist. You have walked through nights where no one saw your quiet obedience, your unseen sacrifices, the way you kept loving when love was not returned. Yet heaven was recording it all. Now the time has come when your life itself becomes a living testimony, an unfolding parable written by divine hands. What was once private is about to go public. There's a sacred unveiling in progress. And though it may feel vulnerable, it is holy. The same spotlight that once frightened you will soon serve as confirmation that you survived the shadows. You are like a candle that has spent years covered by a bowl, flickering quietly, faithful in the dark. But now, the covering is lifting. The flame is not only ready, it's needed. The world has grown darker, and your light has matured enough to shine without being snuffed out. Every chosen one experiences this moment, a divine exposure not meant for fame, but for fulfillment. Heaven reveals you not to inflate your ego, but to expand your impact. There are people waiting for your voice, souls that will awaken when they see your courage. You will not need to chase recognition. Recognition will come searching for the sound of your obedience. You see, there's a divine law. What's done in secret with pure intent cannot stay hidden forever. Seeds, sown in silence, must eventually break through the soil. And when they do, the fruit speaks louder than any explanation ever could. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." And that appointed time is now approaching. Every delay was designed to deepen your roots so your fruit would endure. Every unseen year was heaven's investment in your authenticity. Because when the world sees your light, it must not only see success, it must see substance. You are not being exposed for applause, but for alignment. Heaven is positioning you for impact that echoes beyond your lifetime. So do not fear this unveiling. The discomfort you feel is the stretching of destiny, like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. You cannot remain hidden in the safety of the shell any longer. The wings you've grown were not meant for confinement, they were made for flight. And though flight feels uncertain, you were built for altitude. People will look at you and see transformation. But few will understand the tears it took to get there. They'll see the beauty, but not the breaking. The strength, but not the struggle. That's all right. Their misunderstanding will never outweigh God's vindication. What He is doing through you now will speak louder than explanations ever could. And as this unveiling unfolds, remember, your light doesn't just illuminate, it ignites. Every word you speak, every act of faith you release, becomes a spark that lights another flame. The glory you carry multiplies when shared. That is how the kingdom expands, not through noise, but through genuine light, passed from heart to heart. Below the chosen one. If this word stirs something deep within you, let it be your act of gratitude. When you like this message, it is not vanity, it is visibility. It helps this light reach another soul sitting in silence. When you share it, you become the messenger, extending heaven's whisper to someone who might be on the edge of giving up. When you subscribe, you stay connected to the stream of truth that keeps your spirit nourished. And if you feel led to donate, do it not as charity, but as a seed into fertile soil, so that more messages like this can reach those who need them most. Think of it as pouring oil into a lamp. Every drop keeps the flame alive. Every act of generosity keeps light in dark corners where despair once ruled. You're not just supporting words, you're sustaining a movement of awakening. This is not about building numbers, it's about building legacy. One heart at a time, one soul at a time. When you give, heaven takes notice, not for transaction, but for transformation. Your unveiling is not coming, it has already begun. The first cracks of dawn are appearing, and soon the whole sky will blaze with proof that you were never forgotten. The light you carry will silence the doubts that once shadowed you. Chosen one. The world is about to see what God has always seen in you. Stand tall. Speak boldly. Shine without shame. Heaven's spotlight is not exposing you to harm, it's revealing His glory through your story. The prophetic stirring within you. Something is awakening. Chosen one. It began as a whisper, a restlessness that would not let you settle for the ordinary. You have felt it in your spirit, like gentle tremors shaking the ground beneath your soul. You try to explain it to others, but words fall short. They cannot understand what it's like to carry eternity inside a human frame. That stirring, that pressure, that pulse, it is heaven's heartbeat, resonating through you. You are entering a season where the unseen will start to make itself known. The dreams you once dismissed as imagination will prove to be divine messages. The coincidences that seem too perfect are actually confirmations in disguise. Heaven is speaking to you, not in riddles, but in rhythm. Pay attention to what repeats. What stirs your peace? What tugs at your compassion? These are not random emotions, they are prophetic signals. Sometimes, the voice of God doesn't come as thunder. It comes as a consistent nudge, a holy discomfort that refuses to let you ignore your purpose. You've been sensing it in conversations, in sudden memories, even in music or moments of silence. God is weaving threads of revelation through your daily life, pulling you toward the next chapter of destiny. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And chosen one. Those plans are not distant promises. They are active blueprints unfolding now. Every delay you faced was calibration. Every loss was redirection. The path you've been walking, even the confusing parts, has been the map leading you into purpose. What you thought was random was revelation wrapped in disguise. You may not see the full picture yet, but God has been aligning everything behind the scenes, like pieces of stained glass. Every broken fragment of your past is forming a window that will let His light shine through your life. You are being positioned strategically, like a soldier before a divine assignment. Heaven does not stir without sending. This is why your sensitivity has increased lately, why your spirit feels awake in the middle of the night, why you sense things before they happen. The prophetic stirring heightens awareness because your soul is tuning to divine frequency. Do not dismiss it as anxiety or overthinking. It's discernment developing, vision stretching. You are being trained to see what others overlook. When you speak in this season, your words will carry unusual weight. When you pray, heaven will respond quickly. You are stepping into the realm where alignment and acceleration meet. But remember, revelation demands responsibility. The more God reveals, the more He requires obedience. Stay humble. Stay teachable. Move when He moves. Rest when He rests. There will be moments when your mind argues with what your spirit knows. That's normal. The prophetic stirring often offends logic because it operates from faith, not sight. But if you trust what He's birthing inside you, the fruit will silence every doubt. You have felt waves of emotion lately. Joy, one moment. Tears the next. That's not instability, that's spiritual contraction. The new thing is pushing to be born through you. Every prayer, every worship, every surrender is midwifing a promise. Soon, what was only sensed will become seen. Chosen one. This stirring is heaven's invitation. Don't let fear mute your faith. Don't let comfort cancel your calling. This is your time to step boldly into divine instruction. And now, if you can feel this word pressing on your heart, do something prophetic. Comment below the number 888. That number is a symbol of new beginnings beyond completion, a cycle reborn. A promise renewed. As you type it, you're not typing digits, you're activating declaration. You're saying, I align with what heaven is stirring within me. You're agreeing that you will not waste what God is awakening. There is power in prophetic action. Every time you move in faith, heaven moves in response. When you comment, you're not doing it for visibility, you're doing it for victory. You're planting a visible seed of invisible obedience. Heaven sees it. This stirring will not fade, it will intensify. The spirit within you is awakening because the time of manifestation draws near. You are shifting from waiting to walking, from praying for it to living in it. Stay sensitive. Stay surrendered. The voice you hear is not your imagination, it's your instruction. Chosen one. Something new is rising. Heaven is about to confirm publicly what you've carried privately. The prophetic stirring is proof that the promise is alive. Doubt as the devil's disguise. Chosen one. Few weapons cut deeper than doubt. It creeps in softly, not through thunder, but through whispers. It speaks in your own voice, pretending to be reason. It tells you that what God promised was just your imagination, that the signs you saw were coincidences, that maybe you heard wrong. But doubt is never harmless. It is the serpent's oldest language. You've faced it before, haven't you? Those nights when you knew God had spoken, yet the silence that followed made you question everything. You replayed moments in your mind, wondering if you misread the signs. But understand this, the very fact that doubt is attacking you is proof that faith is still alive. The enemy never wastes his voice on those who have already given up. He comes for the chosen, the ones pregnant with purpose, because if he can cloud your faith, he can delay your manifestation. Doubt wears many disguises. Sometimes it looks like logic, asking, "Are you sure?" Sometimes it wears the face of fatigue, whispering, "You've waited too long." Other times it hides behind comparison. Look at them. They're further ahead than you. But these are lies dressed as questions. The enemy's goal is not to inform you, but to infect you, to turn your waiting into worrying, your trust into tension. When doubt visits, Remember that it does not come to stay. You are not required to host it. You may feel it, but you do not have to feed it. Doubt starves when ignored and dies when confronted with truth. And the truth is, what God has spoken over your life cannot be cancelled by confusion. His word is too strong, His plans too sure, His timing too perfect. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 7, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." Oh, those words are not poetry, they are strategy. They remind you that what you see is not the full story. When everything visible contradicts what you've heard in the Spirit, keep walking. When the numbers don't add up, when the doors don't open, when the people don't believe, keep walking. Sight shows you circumstances. Faith shows you destiny. Doubt will try to convince you that silence means absence. But heaven's silence is often sacred activity. When you hear nothing, God is usually building something. When you see no movement, it doesn't mean there is none. It means the foundation is being strengthened below the surface. Just because you can't trace Him doesn't mean you can't trust Him. You see, doubt doesn't only attack your belief in God, it attacks your belief in who you are in Him. It whispers that you're unqualified, unworthy, unready. But if you were truly unqualified, the enemy wouldn't bother tempting you. He doesn't attack empty vessels. He attacks those carrying oil. He fears what you will become once your faith takes full form. The storm around you has been engineered to exhaust your confidence. The delays, the detours, the disappointments, they were meant to drain your hope until you surrendered to despair. But what hell didn't anticipate was your endurance. You may have bent, but you didn't break. You may have cried, but you didn't quit. The very breath in your lungs is proof that grace has preserved you through doubt's deceit. Chosen one, do not despise the battle. Every time you resist doubt, your faith grows muscle. Every time you stand firm, heaven records your resilience. You are learning to believe beyond feelings, to trust beyond understanding. That's what separates those who talk faith from those who live it. And here is the paradox. The deeper your calling, the stronger the doubt. Because great destiny demands great faith. If you feel like your doubts have been louder lately, it's not a sign that you're losing faith. It's a sign that you're about to walk into fulfillment. Hell intensifies its noise when heaven prepares to move. So instead of fearing doubt, expose it. Bring it into the light. Speak truth where lies once whispered. Declare the promises out loud, even when your emotions tremble. Faith spoken in fear is still faith. It's courage in motion. The enemy cannot stop what's coming. He can only make you question it long enough to delay your agreement. Don't give him that satisfaction. You've come too far to surrender to suspicion. You know too much of God's faithfulness to start doubting now. There is a stillness that comes when faith settles in again. When the chaos in your mind bows to divine assurance, that's where you are heading, a peace so steady, it silences every internal storm. The same God who spoke light into darkness will soon speak clarity into your confusion. Hold on. Chosen one. The next wave of confirmation is already forming. The questions that haunted you will soon be answered, not in explanation, but in evidence. Every whisper of doubt will be drowned in the roar of fulfillment. Rise above the noise, chosen one. This is where your spirit learns to breathe above the chaos. The world around you hums with distraction. Everyone speaking, few truly hearing. You live in a generation addicted to noise, opinions echoing, comparisons multiplying, validation salt in digital applause. Yet, heaven's voice rarely shouts. It still whispers. To hear it, you must rise above the static of this world. You have noticed it, haven't you? The louder the world becomes, the keener your soul feels. Every argument, every judgment, every expectation tries to pull you into battles that aren't yours. The enemy wants to trap you in endless reaction so that you never enter revelation. But your calling is too sacred to be wasted on proving points. You are not here to convince the crowd. You are here to carry the crown. Sometimes silence is your greatest strategy. There's a dignity in restraint, a holy power in stillness. You don't have to respond to every insult or defend every decision. The noise seeks to drain your focus, but wisdom moves in quiet precision. Even Jesus stayed silent before Pilate, not out of weakness, but out of mastery. Silence is not surrender, it's strength under control. There will always be voices trying to reinterpret your purpose. Some will tell you to slow down. Others will tell you to speed up. A few will insist they know what's best for you. But heaven doesn't take a vote on your destiny. When God gives instruction, it's not up for debate. That's why your clarity will always offend confusion. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. And those words still carry power today. Stillness is not inaction, it's alignment. When you quiet your heart, you make room for divine strategy. God doesn't compete with the world's noise. He waits for you to tune your spirit to His frequency. That's when direction comes, sharp and unmistakable. The noise around you has one purpose: to drown the sound of heaven within you. If the enemy can't stop your destiny, he'll try to distract your focus. He'll send confusion through people who misinterpret your silence, through situations that demand reaction, through circumstances that test your patience. But the mature spirit doesn't fight everything it feels. It learns to discern what deserves its attention. You are learning that not every battle is yours to fight. Some wars end the moment you stop engaging. You don't need to correct every misconception or justify your path. The same God who called you will confirm you. Let your results be your response. Your peace be your proof. There is a profound strength in staying grounded when everything around you trembles. When storms rise, eagles don't panic. They ascend above them. That's your calling. 2. To rise so high in trust that the noise below can no longer reach you. It doesn't mean you're ignoring reality. It means you're operating from revelation. The world measures victory by argument. Heaven measures it by alignment. Every time you choose peace over pride, you rise higher. Every time you walk away from unnecessary chaos, you step closer to clarity. This is how you protect your anointing, by refusing to waste it on trivial fights. It's not easy, especially when your silence is misunderstood as weakness. But understand this: divine wisdom often looks foolish to human logic. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be effective. God is teaching you the language of restraint, the rhythm of patience, the art of selective focus. Sometimes the loudest miracles begin in the quietest hearts. The stillness you cultivate becomes the space where heaven deposits revelation. That's why, when others panic, you'll remain calm. When others fight to be seen, you'll choose to be strategic. The quiet confidence of faith will make more noise than any argument ever could. Rise, chosen one, not by shouting, but by shining. Let your peace speak louder than your pain. Let your grace disarm gossip. Let your consistency silence every critic. You are not of this world's volume. You are of heaven's vibration. The louder the chaos gets, the higher you climb. There's coming a moment when you'll look back and realize that staying silent was the most powerful decision you ever made. The storms that once intimidated you will become distant echoes beneath your feet. You'll stand above it all, not arrogant, but anchored. The noise won't stop, but it will no longer sway you. In that altitude of trust, you'll find a peace unshaken by circumstance and a focus untouched by distraction. That is the reward of those who learn to rise above the noise, and in that still, holy quiet, you will hear again the same gentle whisper that started your journey. You are mine. Keep walking. No. Heaven's trumpet over your life, chosen one. Something extraordinary is beginning to sound in the spirit. It's not a sound the world can hear, but your soul feels it. The heavens are stirring, and a divine announcement is echoing across realms. The same voice that spoke galaxies into existence is declaring your name again. It is not calling you by your mistakes, not by your pain, but by your destiny. The trumpet of heaven is not merely a sound, it's a signal. It means the waiting season is ending. For so long, you have walked in quiet obedience, hidden under layers of process, holding on to promises that felt too heavy for your heart. You wondered if anyone noticed, if heaven even remembered. But now, the silence breaks. God has not only seen your faithfulness, He has been orchestrating your unveiling. The trumpet sounds when timing meets obedience, when preparation aligns with purpose. This trumpet is not physical, it resonates in the spirit realm, reverberating through your dreams, your prayers, and even your ordinary days. Things will start moving quickly. Now, doors that refuse to open will unlock effortlessly. Opportunities will begin to seek you. Favor will start to find you. The sound of the trumpet marks a divine acceleration. And once it begins, nothing can silence it. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 31 declare, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" Those words are heaven's proclamation over you right now. The trumpet blast doesn't ask permission, it announces possession. It tells every obstacle that your season of restraint has expired. The very atmosphere is shifting to make room for your arrival. The trumpet announces vindication. It tells the world that God's hand has never left you. Every moment you endured without recognition becomes evidence that you were chosen for more than applause. You are not rising because you fought harder. You're rising because grace has spoken louder. When heaven sounds the trumpet, even your enemies are forced to listen. Pharaoh may still hold the throne, but the Red Sea is already preparing to part. The same ones who questioned your journey will witness your deliverance. The trumpet doesn't argue, it confirms. It doesn't negotiate, it declares, "Chosen one." Listen carefully. This trumpet is not just calling you out of something, it's calling you into something. Into purpose, into visibility, into divine demonstration. The time for hiding has ended, not because you sought exposure, but because the kingdom needs your light. You have been through your training season, your refining season, your silent season. Now comes the season of sound, the moment when heaven amplifies your name, not for fame, but for function. You are being positioned where your voice, your gifts, your presence will carry weight. Heaven is not trying to make you popular. Heaven is making you purposeful. Every trumpet in Scripture marked transition from captivity to freedom, from preparation to battle, from mourning to movement. And this trumpet, the one now echoing in your life, signals all three at once. You are being freed, awakened, and released. Pay attention to the signs that follow this spiritual sound. You may start seeing people return with apologies, doors open unexpectedly, or ideas reignite that you once abandoned. These are confirmations of the trumpet's call. Don't be surprised if you feel a sudden urgency to act, to build, to move. The sound compels obedience. It draws chosen ones toward destiny like gravity. You may feel overwhelmed by what's beginning, but that's natural. Every trumpet stirs emotion before it brings direction. Take a breath. Trust that heaven's sound never comes without heaven's strategy. You will know what to do when the time arrives, because the same Spirit that calls you forward will guide your every step. And now, chosen one, as a prophetic act, comment below the words, "I hear heaven," and do it not for visibility, but as a declaration. When you type those words, you are aligning yourself with heaven's frequency, agreeing that you are ready to move as God moves. You're saying, "I'm done doubting the call, I'm responding to it." You're acknowledging that the trumpet isn't just sounding around you, it's sounding within you. This is not superstition, it's synchronization. When your faith and your confession align, miracles begin to manifest. You are not just waiting for the sound, you are the sound. The living echo of divine purpose released into a noisy world. So lift your head. Chosen one. The trumpet over your life is not a warning, it's an announcement. It declares that heaven is now endorsing what it once prepared in secret. Every angel assigned to you is taking position. Every promise is stepping into performance. The long silence is over. The song has begun. Stand still in awe and listen. The trumpet that began in eternity is now resonating through your name. The crowning moment approaches, chosen one. You can feel it now, can't you? The shift in the atmosphere, the tightening in your spirit, the sacred sense that something long awaited is about to unfold. Heaven has been weaving the threads of your story for years, and now the tapestry is almost complete. Every pain, every prayer, every private victory is forming, the crown that will soon rest upon your life. Crowns are not made overnight. They are forged from pressure, shaped by fire, and polished through patience. Your trials have been the jeweler's hands, cutting away what was common to reveal what was divine. Every rejection became a gem. Every delay became gold, refined in the furnace. The moments that broke your heart were not random. They were crafting your royalty. You have been walking through the coronation process long before anyone knew your name. Heaven has already called you crowned, even before the world could see it. This moment that's coming, it's not reward, it's recognition. It's not just your breakthrough, it's heaven's public acknowledgement that you endured the process without letting bitterness stain your spirit. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 23, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many. Enter your Lord's joy. But let me speak plainly. Chosen one, when the crown comes, humility must remain. A crown is not for boasting, it's for burden bearing. You will carry influence not to be seen but to serve. The higher you rise, the deeper your roots must go in gratitude. You were not crowned to sit still, you were crowned to lead others to their own rising. There is a sacred beauty in this coming moment. You won't need to announce it. People will simply see it. The peace in your eyes, the steadiness in your voice, the calm authority that wasn't there before these will be your crown's reflection. Think of yourself like a tree that has endured years of storms. The wind shaped your roots, the rain strengthened your bark. Now, as the sun breaks through, your branches stretch upward, heavy with fruit. People will gather beneath your shade without knowing the storms you survived. That is the quiet glory of the crowned. You are entering a phase where your influence will carry fragrance, subtle but undeniable. Heaven's scent will linger wherever you go. Conversations will shift. Atmospheres will change. Hearts will soften, not because you strive, but because you are. The anointing is no longer just upon you, it's flowing through you. Chosen one, as you step into this new radiance, I want to ask something of you, not out of demand, but out of shared destiny. If this message has stirred something in your spirit, if you feel the echo of truth in these words, let this be your act of agreement. Like this message, not as a casual click, but as a gesture of gratitude, saying, I receive the word. When you share, you are not just forwarding content, you are planting a seed of hope into someone else's timeline. Someone who might be one breath away from giving up. And if you subscribe, do it not to follow a voice, but to stay connected to a stream of divine reminders. Each message is a drop of oil, keeping your lamp burning in dark seasons. And should your heart feel led to donate, see it not as charity, but as participation. You are joining hands with heaven, helping this light continue to reach those who sit in shadows. Every gift, large or small, becomes a ripple of grace in someone else's storm. Imagine it like watering a field where other chosen ones are waiting to bloom. Your support becomes the rain that helps new seeds rise. Together, we are cultivating a garden of light in a world that has grown weary of darkness. And as you give, in whatever form, attention, prayer, generosity, remember, heaven never overlooks sacrifice. What leaves your hand never leaves your life. It returns multiplied in peace, in provision, in divine alignment. The crown approaching is not merely an ornament, it's a mantle. It's the visible sign that endurance has done its work. When people look at you, they will see grace under pressure, victory without vengeance, authority without arrogance. The sound of your footsteps will remind the world that God still honors perseverance. Hold your head high. Chosen one. The crowning moment approaches, and when it comes, it will not just rest upon your head, it will radiate from your spirit. You will wear peace as your diadem, humility as your gold, compassion as your gem. Heaven will look at you and smile, for the masterpiece is complete, the breaking point before breakthrough. Chosen one. This is the sacred edge where many turn back, where the pressure feels too great and the silence too heavy. You know this place intimately. It's the moment where you've done everything you can, prayed every prayer, you know, and the heavens still feel unmoved. You begin to wonder if perhaps you misunderstood the promise. But the truth is, this isn't the end, it's the bend. The place that feels like collapse is actually the final contraction before birth. Every great breakthrough begins with breaking. A seed cannot sprout until its shell splits. A dawn cannot arrive without night reaching its darkest point. You are standing at that threshold now, trembling between exhaustion and expectation. But heaven's pattern has never changed when the pain intensifies. It's because the promise is about to emerge. It's here, in the breaking point, that faith graduates from feeling to conviction, when there is nothing left to hold but hope, and even hope feels heavy. That's where divine strength enters. God never leaves his chosen ones at the edge to perish. He brings them there to prove that his power was never dependent on their comfort. The prophet Elijah knew this place. After calling down fire from heaven, he collapsed under a tree and begged to die. The fire had proven God's power, but the silence afterward tested Elijah's endurance. Yet even in that despair, heaven sent an angel with bread and water, whispering, "The journey is too much for you." God didn't rebuke his weariness, he replenished it. We find in the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 13, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." Those words aren't merely motivation, they are survival. They are the rope heaven throws to the weary, the whisper that turns breakdowns into breakthroughs. You've been leaning on that strength more than you realize. Every day you didn't quit was a declaration that Christ's power was sustaining you. The breaking point is not punishment, it's proof of potential. You're not being destroyed, you're being delivered. Pressure refines what comfort conceals. The diamond does not shine because it avoided crushing, it shines because it endured it. Likewise, your light is forming under weight. Look back for a moment. Remember the times you thought you wouldn't survive, yet somehow you did. Remember the heartbreaks that felt fatal but became lessons. Remember the doors that closed only to redirect you toward better ones. If you survived all that, this moment will not destroy you, it will define you. You see, every time your heart broke, something else inside you grew stronger. Compassion expanded, wisdom deepened, perspective widened. Heaven was building infrastructure within you for the weight of glory that's coming. The breaking was construction, not destruction. And right now, though it feels unbearable, heaven is closer than ever. Angels are stationed around you, unseen but active. The Spirit is whispering strength into your bones. The very air around you hums with divine anticipation. What you sense as pressure is heaven leaning in, ready to push you into promise. There is something sacred about exhaustion when it leads to surrender. When you finally say, "God, I can't," heaven replies, "Good. Now I can." You were never meant to carry the full weight of your calling alone. The breaking point teaches dependence. It reminds you that your strength was always borrowed. Do not fear what's falling apart. Sometimes, God allows things to break so that what's fragile can fall away and what's eternal can remain. Relationships, plans, even old versions of yourself may crumble. But what's being rebuilt will be stronger, purer, and perfectly aligned with divine purpose. Chosen one. Breakthrough rarely arrives with warning. It comes suddenly like dawn bursting over the horizon. like the last lock clicking open after years of waiting. You won't need to force it. When it's time, heaven moves effortlessly. Until then, breathe. Rest in the tension between what was and what's about to be. This is sacred ground, the moment where your tears water the very soil of your next season. When the promise breaks through, you'll understand why this pain had to happen. You'll look back and see that the breaking didn't destroy you, it delivered you from everything that couldn't go with you. You are almost there. Chosen one. Hold on through the trembling. The sound of cracking you hear is not collapse, it's creation. The walls of limitation are splitting open. The old you is shedding its shell. The new you is ready to emerge. This is your final stretch before fulfillment. The moment where surrender becomes strength and brokenness becomes beauty. Heaven is closer than your breath. Hold steady. The breakthrough is already forming in the invisible, waiting only for your endurance to meet its moment. The divine reversal, chosen one. This is the turning of the tide. Heaven is rewriting the script of your story in front of the same eyes that once saw your struggle. Every injustice, every loss, every misunderstanding is now being folded into a higher design. The author never lost control of the plot. He was simply writing in silence. What looked like defeat was setup. What felt like delay was calibration. The pages are about to turn, and when they do, everything shifts in your favor. You have been through long nights where you thought the story was over. You faced endings that felt final, but God has a habit of interrupting the end with "but God." You are about to live in that holy interruption. Divine reversal is not a dream, it's a law of heaven. When man says, "Too late," heaven whispers, "Right on time." There is something magnificent about how God turns pain into power. You've been walking through seasons that seem to break you. Yet all along, they were building you. The tears you sowed have become water for your future harvest. Every no you endured was clearing the way for the right. Yes, the same path that once looked barren is about to bloom with divine evidence. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." That morning is approaching now. The horizon is changing colors. The first light of reversal shining through. It begins subtly, small shifts, quiet confirmations, but soon it will swell into something undeniable. Heaven's hand is moving pieces you cannot see, orchestrating alignments that human logic can't predict. Divine reversal doesn't only restore, it multiplies. When God returns what was lost, He never gives it back in the same measure. Joseph wasn't just released from prison, he was promoted to palace. Job didn't just recover his wealth, he received double. Ruth didn't just survive widowhood, she was written into royal lineage. And you, chosen one, you are next in that pattern. Heaven is calculating restitution. The tables are turning even now. You might not realize it, but the places of your greatest pain will soon become the stages of your greatest testimony. The very people who doubted your recovery will witness your resurrection. The season that looked like humiliation will become the foundation of honor, because when God reverses, He doesn't hide it, He displays it. He makes the enemy a spectator of your vindication. The shift may begin quietly, but its impact will thunder. Opportunities will appear from unexpected directions. People who once ignored you will begin to seek your insight. Closed doors will open, not because you forced them, but because heaven's authority demands it. Divine reversal is never subtle for long. It carries too much glory to stay hidden. But here is the key. Stay humble in the rising. Pride attracts resistance. Humility attracts multiplication. When the tide turns, don't forget the shore you once prayed from. Gratitude is the gatekeeper of sustained blessing. The more thankful you are, the more heaven trusts you with. Chosen one, this is your moment to breathe again. The tears of endurance are transforming into tears of gratitude. You are stepping out of sorrow's shadow into the light of restoration. The chapter you're entering will make sense of every sleepless night that came before it. You may already feel the signs, the sudden peace after long confusion, the quiet confidence that doesn't make sense, the awareness that something is shifting even though you can't see it yet. Trust that feeling. It's the spiritual scent of reversal. You don't have to strive, you just have to stay aligned. And now, as a prophetic act of agreement, comment below the number 444. That number symbolizes divine stability, foundation, and restoration. It declares, "Heaven is rebuilding my life stronger than before." As you type it, don't see it as digits on a screen, see it as a declaration in the spirit. You are saying, "I receive the reversal. I am ready for the turning of the tide." When you comment, you're not just engaging, you're aligning. It's an act of faith, a small movement with eternal ripple. Heaven responds to belief, not noise. When your faith and your words unite, creation listens. The time of mourning has ended. The season of joy is at the door. The ashes of your past are about to sparkle with new beginnings. This isn't wishful thinking, it's prophetic timing. Heaven is not asking permission, it's issuing command. Look closely. Chosen one, the same soil that buried your dreams is sprouting new life. The same places that hurt you are now holding healing. The same tears that fell in sorrow are watering your future laughter. The divine reversal has begun, and no power on earth can stop what heaven has already decreed. Stand tall. Smile again. The story isn't ending. It's just finally turning your way. Your enemies will witness glory. Chosen one. This is one of heaven's most mysterious mercies, that your breakthrough will not occur in private, but in plain sight. God is not vindictive, but he is deliberate. The same people who misjudged you, the same voices that whispered your downfall, will become witnesses to your divine elevation. This is not vengeance, it is revelation. God is not punishing them, he is proving himself through you. There are seasons when heaven hides your progress, so your enemies cannot interfere. Then comes the appointed time, when concealment gives way to confirmation. You are entering that time. God is preparing a table for you, and he's not waiting until the room is empty. No, he's inviting your adversaries to sit nearby, not to humiliate them, but to educate them. They will see with their own eyes that what they fought was never your strength, but his anointing. You have walked through enough betrayal to know the sting of false friendship. You've been wounded by words you never deserved, accused of motives you never had, and isolated when you most needed understanding. But what if all of that was divine choreography? What if God allowed you to be underestimated so he could be glorified without competition? Sometimes the rejection of man is the stage upon which God writes redemption. There is a sacred pattern in Scripture. Those who plot against the righteous eventually witness their elevation. Pharaoh watched Moses part the sea. Goliath heard David's victory, shout, Daniel's accusers saw him rise from the lion's den, unharmed. The very people who sought to bury the chosen are always the first to see them resurrected. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 23, verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. When this glory unfolds, you won't need to announce it. Heaven will make the introduction. The same mouths that once cursed you will speak your name with respect. The same eyes that rolled in disbelief will widen in awe. The reversal won't require revenge. It will simply require revelation. Chosen one, do not despise those who opposed you. They were instruments of shaping. Every critic carved character. Every betrayal built resilience. Every dismissal deepened dependence on God. The pain they caused refined your purity. The doubt they projected sharpened your discernment. Without them, you wouldn't have been prepared for this measure of grace. There is something profoundly divine in forgiving those who harmed you. Forgiveness doesn't excuse their actions. It releases your elevation. As long as bitterness anchors you to the past, you cannot rise into destiny. But the moment you release them, you rise effortlessly, free of unnecessary weight. God is strategic. He could have removed your enemies quietly, but He chose to preserve them long enough to witness your rising. Why? Because testimony needs context. Without the memory of your struggle, your triumph would seem ordinary. Without their doubt, your victory would lose contrast. The darker the opposition, the brighter the glory. So, don't waste energy explaining yourself anymore. You don't owe anyone a defense. Let evidence speak where explanations once drained you. The fruit of your obedience will do what your words never could. When heaven moves, even the most stubborn heart recognizes the truth. And when that moment comes, when you finally stand in what once felt impossible, stand with grace. Don't gloat. Don't mock. Smile gently, because vindication belongs to God, and humility is still your crown. The world may see a comeback, but heaven calls it continuation. You are not arriving somewhere new. You are simply stepping into what was always written. Every eye that once watched for your fall will now see your flourishing. Every rumor will wither in the presence of undeniable evidence. And those who once said, "It will never happen," will quietly say, "Only God could have done this." Chosen one. That's the point, not that you are exalted, but that God is revealed through you. Your life becomes a living sermon, preached without words, declaring that grace always wins and faith never fails. Soon, you will walk into rooms that once rejected you, and they will fall silent, not out of fear, but out of recognition. The same anointing they dismissed will now command honor. You will not need to defend the oil you carry. The results will testify on your behalf. This is divine justice at its most elegant mercy, displayed through magnificence, restoration, shining through restraint. You won't need to seek validation. Heaven's glory will make your existence undeniable. So, stand tall. Chosen one. You are not walking toward revenge, you are walking toward revelation. And when the glory arrives, let your posture preach that grace triumphs, love conquers, and God never fails to finish what He begins. Carrying fire, walking in light. Chosen one. This is what all the waiting, the breaking, the refining has been for. so that you might carry holy fire without being consumed by it. What burns in you now is not mere emotion, it's divine ignition. It's the Spirit Himself, glowing in your soul like a living flame. You have become the lamp of the Lord, designed to illuminate the paths of others who still wander in darkness. This fire you carry did not arrive cheaply. It was kindled through prayer, pain, and perseverance. Every time you wept in silence, sparks were being struck. Every time you forgave instead of fought back, the flame grew stronger. Every act of obedience became oil for the fire, feeding it until it no longer flickered but burned steady. Heaven never wastes endurance. It converts it into energy. There is a difference between those who talk about light and those who are light. You, chosen one, are becoming the latter. You don't just speak of faith, you radiate it. Your presence changes the temperature of a room. Hope rises in those who meet you, not because you try to inspire, but because you embody inspiration. That's what divine fire does. It transforms people without you even realizing it. The Word of God declares in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." No, notice, the verse doesn't say to force the light. It says to let it shine. The light already exists within you. It simply needs permission to be visible. For too long, you've hidden your brilliance out of humility, mistaking shrinking for meekness. But real humility doesn't dim itself, it reflects its source. You were never meant to hide the glow heaven entrusted to you. You carry a fire that terrifies darkness, not because you fight loudly, but because you exist brightly wherever you walk. Shadows retreat wherever you speak truth. Confusion loses power. You don't need to argue with darkness. You simply appear, and it disperses. That's what authority looks like when worn by the humble. Yet remember, fire must be tended. Even holy flames require maintenance. Keep your altar clean from bitterness, your oil pure from pride. The brighter you shine, the more careful you must be to protect your flame from distraction. The enemy can't extinguish your light, but he'll try to dim it through exhaustion and entitlement. Guard your inner sanctuary fiercely. Fire is paradoxical. It warms those who draw near, but it also exposes what cannot endure. Some relationships will pull away because the intensity of your transformation convicts what remains unhealed in them. Don't mourn their distance. It's not rejection, it's refinement. The brighter the light, the clearer the division between truth and illusion. Let the separation happen peacefully. As your radiance increases, so will your responsibility. Light is never given merely for comfort. It's given for direction. You will find people drawn to you for clarity, for wisdom, for strength. Don't be intimidated by their need. It's proof of your calling. But also, remember, you're not their source. God is. You are the lantern, not the flame. Keep pointing upward. Sometimes you will feel the weight of the fire, the holy urgency to move, to speak, to create, to heal. That weight isn't pressure, it's privilege. It's heaven trusting you with influence. Fire is most effective when contained by purpose. Let discipline be your hearth and love be your fuel. That's how you burn, long instead of fast. And do not fear burnout. Fire sustained by divine oil never runs out. The same Spirit who ignited you will maintain you. When you feel weary, return to the altar of worship. Rest there until your embers glow again. There's no shame in pausing. Even flames need stillness to breathe. This light within you will attract both seekers and skeptics. Some will celebrate it, others will try to explain it away. But light owes no explanation. It simply reveals truth. Don't argue about your glow. Demonstrate it. Your peace will preach louder than your words ever could. Soon, miracles will begin to trail behind your footsteps, not dramatic spectacles. But qui est confirmation. Conversations that heal, encounters that awaken, prayers that shift entire atmospheres. You'll realize that you're no longer striving to make an impact. You are the impact, chosen one. You've become a living torch, a walking sanctuary where heaven meets earth. This is the era of manifestation, where your flame becomes both weapon and witness. Hell trembles when the humble carry fire, because it remembers who lit it. Walk gently but boldly. Burn fiercely but wisely. Carry this light into every dark place, not as a conqueror flaunting victory, but as a servant carrying hope. And when people ask where your glow comes from, just smile. The answer is simple. I was refined in fire, and I decided to keep burning. The doubter's silence begins, chosen one. The hour you've been sensing is finally approaching. Heaven is about to quiet every voice that once rose against you. Not with arguments, not with vengeance, but with undeniable evidence. The silence that follows will not be empty, it will be sacred. For when God moves, explanations become unnecessary. You remember their words, don't you? The skepticism, the sideways glances, the laughter hidden behind polite smiles. They said you were dreaming too big, believing too much, waiting too long. Yet, through it all, you kept your posture steady, your faith unbroken. You allowed time to speak where you could not. And now, that time has arrived. The same voices that mocked will fall silent, not out of defeat, but out of awe. Heaven has been preparing this moment not to embarrass them, but to vindicate you. Divine silence doesn't humiliate, it educates. It teaches the watching world that grace still works miracles in the lives of those who refuse to quit. The prophet Elijah spoke, as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 38. Then the fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and the soil, and licked up the water. That same consuming fire is descending upon your life now, not to destroy, but to demonstrate. It will consume doubt, fear, and limitation until only faith remains. What's coming will be so evident that no one will be able to deny that it was God all along. Think of your life as an altar. You've laid everything down: your time, your tears, your trust. Heaven is responding with fire, igniting the offering you gave in secret. Every prayer whispered in darkness is about to blaze into visible testimony. You will become living proof that God never wastes obedience. But remember, chosen one, silence can feel heavy before it becomes holy. Just before the fire falls, the air feels still. People begin to doubt again. The waiting grows unbearable. Yet in that hush, heaven readies its strike. It's the quiet before confirmation, the pause before the promise becomes public. When it happens, don't boast, breathe. Let the light speak for itself. The purpose of this vindication is not revenge, it's revelation. The doubters will be silenced, not by your victory shout, but by the gentleness of your peace. The quiet glow of fulfillment will say everything. In this new chapter, your story will become a lantern for others still trapped in shadow. People who once dismissed your faith will come seeking your wisdom. They will ask, "How did you keep believing when nothing made sense?" And you will tell them, "Because I wasn't waiting for the world to believe in me. I was believing in the one who called me." Oh, now, as you step into the evidence season, let gratitude guide your response. When you like this message, do it not for attention, but as acknowledgement on almond written in digital ink. You're saying, "This is my story unfolding." When you share, see it as sowing a seed of hope for someone else standing where you once stood, their faith trembling in the dark. You never know whose life might be reignited by your small act of obedience. If you subscribe, don't do it for a name or a brand. Do it to stay connected to the flow of light that continues to pour from heaven's heart through these messages. Sometimes one reminder, one phrase, one revelation arriving at the right moment can keep a weary soul from collapsing. And if your heart feels stirred to donate, see it as an act of worship. You're not funding words, you're fueling the flame that keeps others warm. Like pouring oil into the lamps of those still wandering, your generosity becomes the unseen hand that keeps light shining in hidden corners of the world. This is not transaction, it's transformation. You are helping heaven's echo reach further. Your silence toward the doubters will speak louder than any argument could. You'll walk past them with peace in your eyes, carrying evidence too radiant to refute. Every step you take in grace will echo louder than their disbelief. The light surrounding you will become their lesson that faith never fails, even when it looks foolish. Chosen one, the silence of your enemies will not come through their defeat, but through your demonstration. The more you rise in gentleness, the quieter the noise becomes. You don't need to prove the promise, you are becoming it. And when you read these words, take a moment to breathe, reflect, and if it resonates, leave a comment. Let your own voice join the symphony of testimonies. Tell the world that faith still works, that light still wins, and that doubt is only temporary in the presence of destiny. Because now, the doubter's silence begins, and your song of glory takes its place. The kingdom assignment ahead, chosen one. Everything you've endured, every trial, every hidden refining was never just for personal breakthrough. It was preparation for purpose. Heaven has not been grooming you merely to survive. It has been equipping you to serve. What is unfolding now is not the end of your journey, but the unveiling of your assignment. The crown you wear is not a decoration, it's a commission. You stand at a threshold between what was and what will be. The victories behind you have built the faith you'll need for what's coming. For when heaven trusts someone with influence, it also trusts them with responsibility. To carry kingdom purpose is to walk with weight. Yet this weight is sacred. It anchors you to humility while drawing others toward hope. You have been chosen not only to witness miracles, but to become one. Every lesson you've learned was a key. Every heartbreak carved compassion into you. Every test taught you discernment. Now heaven is calling you to use them to build, to heal, to lead. You are part of a divine relay, carrying light that must be passed on. Your purpose will not look like anyone else's. It's custom-made, stitched from your scars and sealed by your obedience. For some, it will manifest in words that pierce darkness. For others, in acts of quiet kindness that restore dignity, whether public or unseen. Your assignment carries equal weight in eternity. God measures faithfulness, not fame. Heaven speaks through the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 10. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. The kingdom assignment ahead is not a burden, it's an inheritance. You are stepping into alignment with the design that has always been waiting for you. And while it may seem daunting, remember, you are not doing this alone. Heaven's resources move with you. Angels flank your journey. The same spirit that sustained you in suffering will empower you in service. What you carry now will begin to multiply. People will find healing through your words, peace through your presence, direction through your example. You will not even realize how much influence you hold, because it won't come from effort but from essence. Those who encounter you will feel the residue of heaven lingering in the air. But with assignment comes awareness. The kingdom does not advance through noise, but through nurture. You will need to guard your time, your focus, your heart. Every distraction is an invitation to dilution. Keep your altar of intimacy burning. From that flame, all clarity flows. The more responsibility heaven gives, the deeper your dependency must grow. There will be days when you question whether you're truly ready. On those days, remember Moses at the burning bush, stammering, uncertain, yet chosen. God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. You were never chosen for your perfection, but for your willingness. Heaven does not need flawless vessels, it needs surrendered ones. Your assignment may stretch you beyond comfort, but that stretch is where expansion lives. What feels impossible is simply a space reserved for grace to operate. Step into it with trembling faith. The trembling is proof that your flesh recognizes it's standing on holy ground. The task ahead will demand endurance, but also joy. You are not a slave of duty, you are a steward of delight. To serve in God's plan is to participate in creation's ongoing restoration. Every small act becomes cosmic in significance when done in obedience. The kingdom grows not in leaps, but in daily faithfulness. One seed, one word, one act of love at a time. And as you move forward, keep perspective. You are not building your name, you are revealing His. Every victory must point upward. Every success must echo gratitude. The assignment is not about platform, but about presence. God's presence flowing through yours. Chosen one, you have been entrusted with holy work. The fire in your heart is now a torch, meant to guide others home. Carry it with courage, with reverence, with steady joy. You will make mistakes. That's part of mastery. What matters is that you keep moving, keep believing, keep loving. Heaven's greatest servants are those who never stop becoming students. The kingdom assignment ahead is vast, but you were born for it. The world may see a single life, but heaven sees an entire movement wrapped in your obedience. Walk forward. Chosen one. The earth is waiting for what heaven has placed within you. Crowned and unshakable chosen one. This is where the journey converges into clarity. After all the storms, the waiting, the tears, and the fire. You now stand in the light of what was promised. The season of proving has ended, and the season of reigning has begun, not a reign of arrogance, but of assurance. You are no longer defined by what broke you. You are defined by what built you. Every scar on your spirit now glows as a seal of survival. You are proof that grace does not fail. You stand taller now, not because life became easy, but because you finally understand its weight. Every battle that once drained you has become a lesson engraved into your strength. You've learned that peace is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the presence of purpose. You've learned that faith isn't a feeling, it's a foundation. You've discovered that even when you were unsure of your future, heaven was sure of you. This is what it means to be crowned, not merely honored, but fortified. The crown sits not just on your head, but in your heart, a constant reminder of divine trust. You were chosen not because you were flawless, but because you were faithful, and that faithfulness has made you unshakable. The ancient words recorded in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12 declare, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." No, you, chosen one, have stood the test. You have walked through the wilderness, faced the lions, endured the silence, and still whispered, "I believe." That whisper was enough. Heaven heard it and wrote it down as worship. The crown you now carry is not only reward, it's remembrance. It tells the universe, this one endured, and in this new era, storms will still come, but they will no longer shake you. The same winds that once threatened to break you will now propel you forward. You have become like a mountain, unmoved, unbothered, immovable in conviction. When doubts arise, you will no longer panic. You will smile, for you have already seen what faith can do. The unshakable do not shout, they shine. You won't need to prove your authority. Your peace will be your proclamation. The calm in your voice will carry more weight than any argument. You will no longer live in reaction, but in revelation. Your life will move at the rhythm of divine timing, untouched by haste or fear. You are entering an existence where the spiritual and the natural merge, a life where obedience flows like breath. Decisions that once confused, you will now come with ease, because your ear is tuned to heaven's frequency. You have become fluent in the language of trust. And now, this crown is not an ending, it's equipment. You are not being retired, you are being released. The authority that once seemed distant is now dwelling within you. You will walk into rooms and shift atmospheres without a word. You will carry presence instead of pressure. And wherever you go, peace will follow like a shadow. There will still be moments of testing, but you will face them differently now. The unshakable do not fear. Storms, they forecast them. You will sense turbulence before it comes and stand ready, rooted in revelation. You have learned that panic produces nothing. But praise produces power. Every challenge ahead will only remind you of what you've already conquered. This is the beauty of divine maturity. You no longer chase signs. Because you've become one, you are no longer waiting for affirmation. Because heaven has already spoken. You've entered the stage of stillness, where purpose no longer feels like striving, but like breathing. The people around you will notice it. Some will ask, "What changed?" you'll tell them. Nothing on the outside, everything on the inside. You have transitioned from survival to sovereignty, from chaos to calm, from questioning to knowing. The fire no longer frightens you, it familiarizes you with God's nearness. Chosen one, wear your crown gently but confidently. It's not a trophy, it's a testimony. Let it remind you that glory always follows grief, that resurrection always follows ruin, that divine purpose never wastes pain. Chosen one, you have reached the end of this divine journey, but in truth, it's only the beginning. The words you've heard were never just sentences, they were seeds, planted deep within your spirit. Now they are ready to bloom. You stand not as the same soul who began this message, but as one awakened, crowned, and commissioned. Carry this light forward. Let every step you take remind the world that faith still moves mountains, that grace still restores the broken, that destiny always finds its way home. What heaven began in you will not be left unfinished, it will multiply. If this message touched your spirit, if it stirred something sacred inside you, like it not for applause, but as an act of agreement, share it, that another weary soul might find their reminder of hope. Subscribe to stay close to this flow of divine truth, where faith keeps breathing and light keeps speaking. And finally, leave a comment, your reflection, your declaration, or even a single word that echoes what your heart feels. Let the world see that heaven still speaks, and its chosen ones still listen. The story continues through you.